Good morning, good afternoon. Once again, it will depend on the time that you are joining the course. Today, we are going to focus much on practical thing related to data manipulation. We have seen a lot on the theories on how we are going to practice the data manipulation assignment. So, without taking much time, let's jump to the applications of data manipulations as we have seen. So, as we have seen the applications of data manipulations, of course, there is a way of creating the sample data where we have seen that the data that we are manipulating, it is in the form of data frame. That's why we said we can create the data frame which is called the student, and then from creating the data frame which is called the student, from here we will play with this data to see the different kind of the data manipulations. And this is also the libraries that we are going to use in everything that we are going to do. So we have seen that mostly we will need the library called tidyverse, and the tidyverse is going to help us to play with those elements or those 8 elements of data manipulation. So I have to run the tidyverse. So after running the tidyverse, I'm going to receive the warning message that is going to show me every packages that is backed by the tidyverse. Those packages we have here from 1 up to 9. It means that there is no need to load this data set, these packages. Since I wrote the tidyverse, means that when I wrote the tidyverse also contains this kind of thing. So without taking much time, let's go to the creation of the sample data frame, where we have seen that you have to name the object of the data frame that you are going to create, and then you use data.frame. This data.frame, it is a function that is going to help us to create the data frame. What we do is just to keep enter, and then if I print, I'm going to receive the data frame that is in format like this one. So from here, we are going to look for the selecting the column. So we have seen that the select, we are using select when we need to select the specific column in a data set, so in data frame. So we say select, and then we put the name of the data frame, and then we indicate the variable that we are selecting. So once I run this, I'm going to see only name, age, and grade as the way I said. So, and again here also I can select all except one variable, where I can select I put the select, and I put the name of the data set, and then I select English only. So if I put minus, what I'm trying to do, it's like I'm selecting all variables excluding. If I put minus, it means that I'm removing. That's what it means. You see, I'm selecting all variables in my data set, but also removing English. That's what it means when I put the negative. So, and again here also, it is the way of filtering the rows. So if we are filtering the rows, we are using a filter to filter the different kind of the observations that we are looking for. We are filter the student when age is greater than. We are looking for the student. We are looking for the data. We are looking on the data set called the student where the age is greater than 21. So I have to filter name of the data set and age greater than. So what we are going to see, look for the age. All age we have here is greater than, or you can say greater than or equal, something like that. So the way you want. So if I say greater than or equal, 21 is going to be coming. So again, another thing here was filtering a female student. So we look for the student as the name of the object. We put the gender equal, and then if we are equalizing, just comparison, if we are equalizing, if we are looking for inside of the variables, when you are targeting exact information, exact rows in a data set, we use double equal. We are equalizing. Go in gender and look for the female, the way it is typed, equal, exactly something like that. That's why we are using double equal. So if we are using this, we are going to see females only. But here you can also say male the way you want. But here we can also use multiple conditions when you are trying to filter. So where we can filter the gender, which is male, but also we are looking for the male that is having scored above 80 in mathematics. So that is also only one. They have the 90 and it is made, something like that. So I can say, if I say or maybe I can say less than or equal, something like that, less than or equal. So you see what I'm going to see, 75 and something like that. So it depends on the conditions that you are trying to look for. And also here we are creating or modifying the column by using mutate. So we are adding a new column in our dataset called student. We are going to add age next year, something like that, age next. So we are adding a column called age, and we have seen that when we are using mutate, what we have to do just is like to start by typing mutate. So we put the name of data frame, the object, and then we put the comma, we put the new name of the variable that we are creating, and then we add expression. So when I learn, so you see I have age 21, but because I said go on age and then try to add one by one for each 22, 23, you see that I'm adding one to each age, something like that. So and also here I have add multiple conditions. I can add the variables, more than one variables also at the same time in my data set, where we said we are going to go to our student as the name of data frame. We add the one variable called the total score equal to the expressions. It is going to take math plus English. And also we can also add average score. We are going to take math plus English divided by 2. Those are also the things we have to consider. So those, when you are looking for this, you see that this is also the variable that we are trying to add each by each. So I think now you understand this. So this is also the things we can do, and I think it is important to us to understand this, that can be happen. So again, this is also the summarize. We can use the summarize. We are trying to look for the average math and also the maximum age. So the summarize, that's hard to do, average math and also the maximum age. And we can also do summarizations by using pipe, where the pipe, like we take, instead of you see, when we are using pipe, we are not going to follow the procedure like this. So what we do when we are using a pipe, we type the student and then we put the pipe, go on the dataset called the student, look for the grouped by. Grouped by, the reason why we are grouping by, because we need to see the average math score and average English score for each categories of gender, because we have seen that in a gender there is a male and female. We need to look for it separately. That's why we say grouped by. And even you cannot say grouped by, even not always to say gender, you can also say that by grade, something like that, or by name. So we are grouping based on we are grouping the categorical variables so that we can see for each categories the calculations that we can do for the summary statistics. So that's what I can say. But if we run this, we are going to see on female the average mark are 89. On male, the average English are something or something. Those are the things we need to consider, and they are having also to count. They are 2 and 3. So that's what we need to keep in mind. So, and again, arranging or sorting, we are arranging from as by default it is ascending from the lowest to the highest. So if I sort by age, it means that I'm going to start on the lowest age up to the highest age. So I can also sort by math, but also descending from the highest. If we say descending from, it is from the highest. What we do, we type a range, and then we put the name of the data frame, we put the comma, we add descend, and also put the variable that we are going to look for while we are doing ascending. So those are also kind of things. Mathematics, I'm doing descending from the mathematics. What I'm going to see, this is what we have highest score in mathematics. So, and also you can arrange based on the more than one variables, not only focusing on one variables also. So this is also another thing we can do. You can ascend with the different kind of variables. So again here, this is also the applications of the pipe. So you can use the pipe when you are filtering, and you can use a pipe to filter, select, and arrange at the same time. That is what we call the simplest way. That is also the reason why I was saying that to use pipe is it is important to use pipe, because it is simplify the longevity of the code that we can type in other programming. Because here I said go on this example, I said that go on the student. The student, it is the name of our data frame. Go and filter, look for the gender only. After looking for the gender, go and select the names go and select the variable called the name and math, and after looking for it, arrange it by also descending based on the mathematics. So that's what we are going to see. That is also the things of using a pipe. So, and then from here you can also add that. To add the pipe, you can also use Control Shift M. Control Shift M. So sorry, Control Shift M. Control Shift M. That is a shortcut of adding pipe. Control Shift M. So, and then you can also say that mutate. From here I can say mutate, where I can add another variable called age next, for example, equal, and then I can say that I'm going to take age the way it is typed. You have to make sure that you type it the way it is plus 1. If I say age plus 1, and then once I run, you see, so I am not going to get this. There is no things called age. So the age, the way it is typed, I type it to the way it is not. So this one, I think, so mutate. So this one, I think, so okay, so I have to add this one. I have to add this one again. This one, okay, this. So the size, mutate, okay. So, okay. Okay. Edge is not found, so I don't know the reason. So okay, let's see. Okay, you see, now it is working. So I forget to add this comma, so that's why. So you see, I'm getting this, but also you can do the grouped by gender and summarization. This is another exercise you can do by using a pipe. And another thing which is important, it's like joining the data frame. So when you are playing with the data manipulation, most of the time you will need to join the data frame. So when you are going to join the data frame, so it is also important to note that and we are trying to join the data frame, it is also important to note that we are joining based on the variable in common, or based on the column in common. Let's say we are creating the data frame called the scores. The scores, it is composed by the names and a science score. So if we have this, once we print the stuff called score, so we are going to have the data frame called the score, name, and science. And we have also the student. We already have the things, or the data frame called a student. So from the student data frame that we are having, both in common, they are having what we call name. They are having the column in common called the name. So from here we can join those two data sets by using inner join. So by using inner join, it means that we are going to look for the intersections. So we by joining using inner join, we are using the variables that is in common because it is a name. Both in scholars and the student we have names, so we type inner join and then we put the names of the data set that we are going to use. We are going to look for the student and also scholar, and then we put comma, we add by, we put the variable in common. If we are doing this, this is what we are going to do. So it is going to look for the names that is matching, and then they help us to make the join. So from the left join, we can also you do the left join. If we say the left join, we are saying that we want to take the observation from the scorer, and then we append it to the we append it like we add it like left-wise to the student. So that's what we are doing. If I'm doing this, you see that I'm starting on the observations of the student, but also adding the observations of the score. Sometimes you will see that is similar to the inner join. So, and this is the practical exercise I provide to you. Try to do this practical exercise, and I hope that you are going to learn a lot. And then from here, we will continue to look for this, but also trying to make much as we can so that we can do the better things. So without taking much time, so allow me to stop by there. Let's meet to the next session where we are going to focus on the data visualization. So once again, thank you so much. Try to ask the question where you are not understanding so that we can help you to understand it better. So have a good day.